are now entering Female Founder World with your host, Jasmine Garnsworthy.
We have Layla and Lily on the show today. They're the co-founders of a beauty and hair vitamin brand called HAIRtamin. And you may know them from Instagram. They have millions of Instagram followers each. They are influencers. Layla and Lily, welcome to the Female Founder World podcast. It's so great to have you both.
Thank you for having us. We're excited to be
Super
here.
excited.
Okay, so we've got two of you on the podcast today. I'm going to direct questions to each of you so that we don't get too confused. But I want to go right back to the beginning and how this idea for a hair vitamin brand came about. And let's start with you, Layla.
Sure. So HAIRtamin is a clean beauty wellness brand for women by women. Our mission is to develop clean, science-backed ingredients that deliver real results for women of all ages and all concerns. Really, the brand started from a true need between two friends that were talking one day on text about our different hair issues. So I was suffering from postpartum hair loss. I always had pretty good hair, you could say, but after I had my baby, I was losing hair in clumps, like so bad that my husband even said, like, honey, I can't deal with this. Like, there's a lot of hair in the shower and you need to figure this out. And Lily was, she had her own company. She was going through so many just life changes, but more than anything, she had so much amazing glam with her hair, tight ponytails, and that caused traction alopecia, which she'll talk about herself. But so the idea for the brand really came from a need between two girls that really wanted to find answers for themselves. We wanted to create a true clean supplement brand. We did so much research. We talked to doctors, nutritionists, naturopaths, scientists, and everybody was telling us there's so many different things that you need in a supplement to really make it effective. And so at the end of the day, we had a vitamin brand here, we had another vitamin brand there. There was so many different ingredients that were thrown at us. And not only was it just impossible to take that many pills, but it was expensive. I think at the end of it, we came up to a total of $500 to $600. And we're like, this is just not attainable.
A month.
Yeah, can't be doing that every month.
And, unfortunately, the supplement industry is not regulated. It's not like regulated by the FDA. So you really don't know what's in the vitamins until you do some deep research. And so, through our research, through our team of hair experts, we really perfected our formula. It's 22 powerful, potent, but clean ingredients that truly deliver on the promise to grow and maintain healthier, stronger, fuller, more beautiful hair from the inside out.
And we hired the smartest people we could find, from doctors, formulators, pharmacists, scientists, and together they came up with our first, which is our hero product, advanced formula.
I want some. I'm sold. I'm in.
We need to send you some. You'll love it.
I would love some. Okay, so what background were you both coming to this from? I'm on your website. I'm obviously seen the brand on social. It looks like you're both really well versed in e-commerce and how to sell products online. Had you done this before? Like, give people a little bit of context into how you knew how to do this and how you kind of learned along the way. And Lily,
So Layla and I are both what I like to call serial entrepreneurs. So we are very well versed in having our own businesses, running our own businesses. Before HAIRtamin was born, both Layla and I had our own brands. I'm probably most known for my brand Lily Lashes, which is an eyelash line that I'm wearing right now. And so, as far as the business side goes, we both had experience that we brought to the table, which was great about this partnership. It's not like one side had all this extensive knowledge and the other side didn't. We truly were equals in that respect. But with that said, every business is different. And every business is its own animal. So while we brought our experience in having our own brands, running our own brands, we were both CEOs of our own brands. We both had social media, e-commerce driven brand. This brand was its own beast in and of itself. And, we took it on head first. And I think that's just the personality that Layla and I both have, to just be very, very entrepreneurial.
And to add to that, you never stop learning. Like Lily said, I mean, every business is its own thing. And to this day, like, we are huge fans of just Googling our way through every issue that we could encounter. And I think you learn so much just in those beginning years when you're developing. And it's so invaluable just talking to people and really staying connected, even with our social following, just talking to our followers and our customers and really understanding what it is that they want from our brand, I think was key for us. And having that background as influencers ourselves really helped launch the brand
I
to
don't
where it
want
is today.
someone listening to this thinking like, oh, well, I can't do it. You know, I have no experience. They had all this experience. There was a time when Layla and I both had no experience. We had jobs somewhere that we were working. And one day we decided that we believed in ourselves and we could have our own brand. And we quit our jobs, whatever it is we were doing, and we chased that dream. And like Layla said, Google knows everything. You don't need to be an expert. You don't need to have
Totally.
your own brand to start a brand. You can do it as long as you believe in yourself and you put in the work.
And you're
There is so much to learn from both of you. I have so many questions written down here that I want to ask. Layla, I just cut you off. I want to hear what you had to say.
No, I was just going to say that there's so much knowledge in not knowing what you're getting into. And I think that was the most, it was the most challenging part of our journey, but it was also the most rewarding, because we learned so much. And, neither of us had any background in supplements, but we both are educated consumers. And so we love to just research every single ingredient, every supplier, even the company that's making our bottles, like, all of that research is invaluable. And like Lily said, it's, why not you? If you truly are passionate about the industry, the product that you want to launch, just go for it. I mean, that passion, you can't beat it.
Let's talk about kind of what is your playbook or your blueprint for if you're launching a new product? Like, what are you doing to let people know about it, to get the word out? Like, what does your marketing funnel look like?
Sure, Lily.
Yeah, that's a great question. So I will first start by answering this question by saying not everything you do may succeed. Okay. I've had a lot of businesses in my life that didn't work, but nobody remembers that. As long as
So true.
don't
That's so
give
true.
up and you learn from each experience what you did right, what you did wrong, that's all that matters. So in my career of entrepreneurship, I have found a secret formula that works for me. I'm going to share the secret formula with you, Jasmine. I'm not even going to charge you. Okay. So for me, that secret formula, because my businesses are e-commerce, social media driven, number one, the product must be one size fits all. It needs to be something that a very, very large amount of people can relate to. So lashes fit into that, cosmetics, hair vitamins. These are things, our hair vitamins, for example, they're for men and women, all hair types, all ethnicities. Anyone that takes them will benefit from them. So that's number one. Number two is easy to ship. So Layla and I are social influencers. Our businesses are social media driven. That means our customers are not just in America. They're all over the world. They're in Australia, they're in the Middle East, they're in the UK. So it needs to be easy to ship. And the third and final thing for me and my secret recipe that works is affordable. The product needs to be, under $30 ideally. I had a jewelry line, for example, once, a branded jewelry line, but who wants to buy $2,000 bracelets on the internet? Nobody. That's something you want to see, you want to touch. So those are my three secret ingredients to a successful social media e-com business.
And I'll add one more to that. For me, it's a product that hopefully you can produce right here in the US. Because having my own hair care brand prior to this, and hair tools, I had to rely on China for my curlers and blow dryers and things like that. And, if you can afford to have your product made right here domestically, it just makes life so much easier. You don't have to deal with the shipping, tariffs, delays, which now I've heard it's like crazy. Thank God we don't have that issue because all of our products are made right here in the US. All of our formulas are created here as well. And so I would, if you are able to make it domestically, it's
absolutely.
Yeah, I think, you know, definitely through 2020 and 2021, lots of people learned that lesson the hard way about how, yeah, so many delays and so many supply chain issues. Even still, obviously you have huge social followings and that's really big for the business. But like, what else are you doing to like, what else is within your marketing strategy right now?
Sure. So, as social influencers ourselves, we also do a lot of influencer marketing. And so, we have a lot of ambassadors that work with the brand that truly love the product, take it regularly, and share it with their millions of followers. You know, we have anywhere from influencers to micro influencers. And you'd be surprised, you know, sometimes even those micro influencers can produce real numbers. And it's amazing to see. Um, Aside from that, we do SMS marketing. We also do email marketing. And then both Lily and I ourselves are influencers ourselves, and we are the founders of the brand. We are the face of the brand, the hair of the brand, and so that's been really, I think, what's made us different than other vitamin brands is that you have the two founders behind it. We're not owned by a huge conglomerate. It's, you know, two women who founded the brands for their own need, and we share our journey daily on social
I
media.
would say the most powerful marketing channel in your social funnel, if you are an e-com driven business, is influencer marketing, hands down. That is the backbone of this brand. That is the backbone of all my brands. It is truly more powerful to have an influencer promote your item than any TV commercial, magazine ad, radio spot, all these old traditional forms of marketing and commercials. They're just not relevant anymore. Everyone is on social media. I'm sure you bought products, influencer posts, or Facebook
Absolutely.
ads. We also do that. So we really focus on that. We have a vast influencer network that we post with month after month, and that really drives the brand.
So let's talk about that influencer network. I'm so curious about what the machine is behind this. Are there any platforms that you're using within the business to manage influencers? Do you have an in-house team doing it? Are there any kind of like tactics or tools that you think other people can replicate in their own businesses?
Sure.
Yeah, so believe it or not, sorry, Lily, we don't have a platform that we're a part of. Everybody thinks that we do because of the size of the business and just, you know, what they see, but we have an in-house team that kicks ass. They are amazing. And, you know, it's just a matter of reaching out to influencers through DM, through email. And that's really what, you know, how we've been able to amass this mass following ourselves and our roster of influencers.
And we've tried a few of the platforms. You know, there's so many different platforms out there. Tribe Dynamics. We've been on. Yep.
Great.
But the thing is, you're having a computer's algorithm predict who they think will be successful for your brand, who won't. And at the end of the day, we all know what influencers have that it factor. Who is influential? Who do you look at and you're like, oh my God, I want to buy that tanner or whatever it is they're using. And so we have found in our business's best practice is to have a team of real people all day scouring social media to see who do they feel is influential, who has the crazy engagement, even if they don't have a lot of followers, but they have massive engagement. So we find a team of real people can do it better.
How are you thinking about TikTok now as part of the brand as well? Like, how has that shifted? Because it's such a different way of creating content, engaging with influencers.
And I wish that, you know, I had more of a presence on there so I could understand it better. But unfortunately, I'm not on TikTok much. But, you know, our team is. And so they're on there looking for new talent. We do know that it's very different than Instagram. So it's not as polished, it's not as high produced content. And you never know if an influencer is not that big, the next day she could be huge. And so it just takes that one video that takes off, and there you go. What I do also know is that you can't do real hard sells on TikTok. It has to be more fun and just quick, entertaining content. So, you know, you don't have an influencer standing there for a long period of time, really going into the details of the product or demonstrating the product for too long. It's more just quick, viral stuff that just stops your scroll, so to speak.
Yeah. Like Layla said, I think the goal on TikTok is if you can get a video advertisement to go viral. If can create a viral video. Then you'll get exposure for whatever it is it's advertising. TikTok doesn't allow clickable links, unfortunately, like Instagram stories does. So it's a lot harder to shop straight from the ad. But Layla and I don't have a lot of experience in TikTok. So my advice is hire a young person that knows it.
And there are lots of them. And also, like, I feel, I was speaking with, we do this series, it's called Founder Finance Diaries, where we dig into like the finances behind certain businesses. And I was speaking with one woman, she's 18 on TikTok, she's got 1 million followers, and she has a cosmetics company. She makes everything herself, and she's built that following just showing herself filling the lip gloss tubes.
Wow.
And but she's not making a lot of money because she needs someone else to come in and help her scale that business. And I think that there's so much talent on TikTok that are amazing at content but haven't figured out like how to make that into a business yet. And I just think that if you're someone who has a business and needs talent, like there is still a lot of people that are like untapped there for sure.
Definitely.
You can't ignore TikTok. People thought it was bad. They thought it was like a Snapchat moment. No, TikTok
for like 2020 during the pandemic.
It's happening.
But it's here to stay.
So brands need to start giving it a little bit more attention.
But
yeah, absolutely.
Doing those dances, or has it turned more into like informational? Because at the time when we were all in lockdown, it was all just dances. Like everybody was.
Yeah, it's not that I don't have any dancing in my feed.
I'm gonna
anymore.
look you up, girl.
I'm just getting started. On TikTok. So I'm on your website and scrolling through. I'm looking at your product pages, and your product pages are like perfect. I think they're just the gold standard for ecomm and for beauty as well. Do you know any of the apps or anything that you guys are using on here? Because it's awesome. And I love how you've got the before and after. You're showing really big images of the results, where I think a lot of beauty brands aren't doing that. And people want to see the efficacy. It's like, I'm not buying this just for the packaging. I want to see what it's going to do.
So we're on Shopify Plus, and we do have a lot of plugins, but for the most part, everything is pretty much custom beyond that point. So, our art director and our graphic design team really come up with the ideas, and then we sit with them and we approve, what we like, what we don't like. But at the end of the day, I think what's really important for us is that we really communicate what the product is, what the benefits are, and show real results. Because at the end of the day, you can have the most amazing product, but if the results are not there, then it's not going to work. And we're really proud of this fact that we're going to share. Usually we share this in our pitch when we have buyers meetings, but we have one of the highest returning customer rate in the industry. It's at 68.9 or 69.8 last time I checked. But
amazing.
Almost 70%, which is huge. That means almost 70% of the customers that come to our website come back and repurchase. And that's with our money back guarantee. So we have 100% money back guarantee on all of our products, so that you can try the product. If it doesn't work for you, even if you've tried it for a year and you're not happy with the results that you're seeing, you can send your empty bottles back for a full refund of your purchase price. And our return rate is like less than 2%.
0.2%.
0.2%, I'm sorry, 2%, which is unheard of. And that's with our money back guarantee. So that's something that we're really proud of. And the results really speak for themselves. And, our customers, influencers, they submit those results pictures to our website directly. And that's where you see those incredible before and afters that people love to see.
And just to add to the website, if you've never made a website before, please use Shopify. Shopify makes it idiot-proof to create a website. You can literally make it yourself on a theme that's already built. We have a custom-built theme that we have developers take a Shopify theme and edit, but you don't need that to start. You can just get an already made Shopify theme, upload your photos to it, product names, and go live. It's so easy.
And you
we love Shopify.
Inspired by other brands. You can get inspired from whether it's brands within your industry or just other brands that you love, whether it's cosmetics or hair care or, I don't know, interior design, whatever it is. Just look on those websites and get ideas of what really draws your eye, what you're really noticing, and try to implement that on your site. But like Lily said, just get started. The first step, just get started. And eventually you'll continue to perfect it as time goes on.
Is there anyone else that you look to, and it could be in other categories, but that you think is like absolutely killing it in e-com marketing right now, and you kind of look to and you're like, great idea here, great idea there? Anyone that you think people should look at?
Yes. So we actually look at a couple different industries, right? Not just supplements, because at the end of the day, if you're an e-commerce social media driven brand, you should look at all e-commerce social media driven brand. It's the same formula that can translate to different products. So my number one is Fashion Nova. And everyone knows who Fashion Nova is, whether you love fast fashion or you don't love fast fashion. You can't deny that they are the number one most successful social media driven e-commerce brand in the world. So they're doing something right. So we like to look at their website just for little things that they've added, how easy it is to shop, maybe, different tactics they've implemented to help increase conversion on their website. So I would say Fashion Nova's one of my biggest ones. And then I love all the KKW brands. I think that they do a really beautiful job aesthetically with branding. So we like to look at them just for inspiration there.
You should also sign up to receive their email newsletters or text newsletters, and you get a lot of valuable information in those as well. And like Lily said, it doesn't have to be just your industry, it could be any industry, and just see, how they communicate their brand, look at their welcome flows, look at their abandoned carts, like all of that.
Yes.
It's invaluable.
Yeah, absolutely. And okay, so I have to ask you both this question. A lot of people come to the show and they're looking for business ideas and they want to know where there's white space. Is there anything that you see in different categories, different industries, where you're like, someone should fix this, or someone should do this better? Do you have any kind of ideas that you think are just ripe for disruption or for innovation at the moment?
Well, I don't know if this exists. If it does, please let me know, because I really need this. But for me, I love fashion. And, sometimes there's certain brands that I love. And, after a while, like I hope there was like something out there that could kind of curate the looks that only I want to see based on like my search history or my purchase history. But if there was something that would scour the internet, all websites, all, department stores or whatever, and just curate just what they think is the type of stuff that I want to buy. Is there such a thing?
I haven't heard of anything like that, but I do love the idea of the internet has so much data about you, and to be able to use that to actually create useful tools and useful information and recommendations. I think that could be really cool.
Yeah, that would be amazing. That would save a lot.
I love that. Yeah, I want that.
I mean, I can give you a few. I'm pregnant right now. I'm very black to disguise it, but I mean, I'm very
beautiful.
Maternity wear. So if we have some designers out there watching this, for us glam girls, we want some cute clothes. We don't want to wear a muumuu during our pregnancy. I haven't been able to wear maternity clothes other than yoga stretch pants because they're just so unattractive.
I feel like if anyone's going to do it, it's going to be Rihanna. Like, she is owning motherhood right now. Like, her.
Maybe she's priming for that. Maybe this is what's happening.
So, there's definitely some white space there coming from a pregnant glam girl.
I love that. I love that. The last question that I ask everyone who comes on the show is for a resource recommendation. And I would just love to know whether you have a book, whether you have someone that you follow, just maybe it's a philosophy or a practice that you have that's really helped you both as you've grown as businesswomen and you've been building your businesses. And Lily, let's start with you if you've got a recommendation.
Other women. That is my number one resource. Never be afraid to reach out and ask people for questions, ask people for favors, whatever it is you need. I have found that there are so many inspiring women around me, whether they have their own successful beauty brands, whether they're moms, but just do a goddamn good job balancing their life and everything in it. So I constantly try to reach out to other women to ask for advice on how they did something, how they're doing something, how they're balancing something, who they use for something, who's your packaging supplier, who made this website, it's beautiful. I think so many people are afraid to just put themselves out there and ask for advice or help. So that's been my biggest help in life, is just asking others around me.
That's great. I love
Amazing.
that. And it's so true. So when I was younger, I used to read a lot of biographies and autobiographies of women and just other entrepreneurs that I was inspired by their stories. But now I think it's more just through social media and looking at other successful entrepreneurs and kind of following their journey, which people share, so much of now on social media. I think that's been really impactful for me. And then listening to podcasts like this.
Mhm.
I think it's the next wave. There's so much knowledge that's just freely shared, and you can listen to it anywhere while you're getting your makeup done, your nails done, you're in the car driving. It's great.
Incredible. Thank you both so much for coming on the show and just being so generous with everything that you've learned and everything that you know about business. I just think people are going to love this episode. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.